Hey everybody, welcome to the Prepared Mind channel. I want you to get on over to YouTube, get on over to Patreon so you can see everything we're going to talk about. But for now, really what you need to know is, there's hardships out there, folks, and it's going to get a lot harder as we go down. Oh, quick example. Here comes the fuel inflation. You bet it is. And that's just the beginning. It's just part of it. This is a full spectrum descent into SHTF madness. Once again, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, everyone. Hey, look, this is not just one little thing, as we've discussed. It's not just, hey, they messed up our fuel system. Hey, we can't get bacon anymore at a good price. Hey, what happened to what happened to this thing called freedom? Fabulous, folks. They're doing such a great job up in DC. Thanks, Joe Biden. Thank you, Democrats. Thank you, globalists. I'm glad you care about us. No, folks, they don't. They've got their system they are building. They are in charge. They are doing the planning, and we get to see the consequences of their decisions. The politicians, the lawyers, that's right, lawyers. They're the ones who write all these rules. The bankers and the uber corporate wealthy type, power elite. This is their mess. We didn't do anything. We don't have the power to change shit. Our power is, well, when I get to the stoplight, do I turn left, turn right, or do I go straight? That's about it. They are the ones who have put the brakes on the planet and are doing stuff. Now, here's the deal, folks. Joe Biden, guess what? He got the smackdown from OPEC, the oil-producing, exporting countries, OPEC. They decided we will not produce more oil. Joe Biden asked, he said, hey, can you guys pump out some more oil? We stopped pumping oil up in Alaska the way we were and in the United States. We cut down the Keystone Pipeline, just destroyed it. Can you do us a favor and get us more oil? The answer was no. Oh, geez. Did they know this was a foregone conclusion? Probably. Probably. And guess what? That means inflation. Less oil available. Speculators are going to speculate and say, see, there's less. We could have shortages. Prices are going to go up. Oh, you bet, folks. You bet. Hardships. We're going to have more and more hardships as they take everything down. One more. You want another? Oh, out west. And this is going to happen out east as well. Get used to it, folks. Get used to the idea. The Secretary of Energy has told us, right? But out west, Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, has shut off power to 51,000 customers, a relatively small number of customers, folks. But those customers are in 18 different Northern California counties. And you know what their excuse is? It's to prevent wildfires. Now, why is it when I grew up, there weren't power outages in my area and across the state because of fear of wildfires? What has changed? All of a sudden, electricity doesn't travel down power lines. Now it travels through trees. I mean, what is there's an agenda here, folks. There's an agenda. And California is so jacked up. They want everyone charging electric cars with more power, but they want to cut the power. And what good is it going to do to cut power to 51,000 measly customers to save more power for the autos? Well, maybe that's not it, right? It is incredible what is going on. And now are they sucking so much power through the power lines that they're overheating and causing forest fires, wildfires, whatever they want to call them? Well, what's it going to do? 51,000 customers. Absolutely stunning, folks, what they're doing to these people. So as they test this, get people used to the idea, jack them over. Oh, you bet they're going to try this everywhere, folks. Get used to it. Hardships are coming as we get punished more and more and more. And I think I want to wrap up with this last topic because I want to spend a little bit of time here. Let's just do it, folks. Joe Biden goes back to the White House. He left Camp David because of what is going on in Afghanistan. I have said, and I'll continue to say, and I believe that this is not a foolproof plan that all these elite, powerful scumbags have. It's not a foolproof plan. If there's one thing government can do, it is completely screw things up. That they are good at. Did they devise a system for Social Security way back in the 1940s? Or was it the 30s? Did they devise it all the way back then, knowing that in 90 years it would help destroy the American retirement system or create a system that would ruin itself and destroy people's lives? Did they create it knowing it was going to do this? Or is this just the result of bad government management? Okay, bad government management. Is socialism the result of a nefarious plan to bring everyone down? Well, a lot of people believe that. Or is it just bad government management? And same with corporations. What? It's incredible what they do. They're going woke, thinking that's going to make us rich. That's going to make us powerful, right? Bad corporate management. Idiots. At the same time, they're getting, I guess they're all getting their political agenda handed to them on a silver platter because the government's getting more power. The people are losing their shit, right? So the whole system is crumbling and falling down while government and corporations become more rich, more powerful. There's a huge wealth transfer as the middle class disappears. It is absolutely incredible. But on the front of conflict has throughout all of history been the number one way for governments to gain more power, to transfer wealth into the super rich class. Period. War, folks. So Joe Biden returns to the White House after Afghanistan, which they said they need to get out of, has become a giant humanitarian crisis caused by the Biden administration. He doesn't need, the president does not need Congress's permission to properly remove the military, to properly remove the civilians, to properly protect and leave in place a stable country. He doesn't need permission for that. He didn't need permission from Congress to take people out. So there's no one to blame but himself. And now he's back. He came back from Camp David. Is it because of Afghanistan, or is it because of China getting ready for an invasion against Taiwan? Now, I caught a news story that there is 30, 40, 50,000 American troops either in Taiwan or on their way. I need to substantiate this. Just keep this in the back of your mind, though. Are they getting ready for a huge conflict on the world stage? Right. Government messes everything up. Government wants more power. The medical industry wants more power. The retail world wants more power. The huge corporate conglomerate restaurants want more power, right? There's going to be fast food wars. It is incredible. And we're going to have potential real war on the ground. Or is this all, never mind, I don't even go there. But yeah, this is what's going on, folks. This is what they're doing. And all of it, whether it's medicine or law, military or business, the objective is to hold us in place, to frighten people, to scare them into submission, to threaten them into submission, right? This is what is happening. People are becoming more and more afraid. Now, That's not to say that there aren't people out there who have no clue what's going on. There's plenty of those. They just don't want to pay any attention. And they are going to be amongst those who are shocked the most. Why is the fuel prices going up? Why is food so expensive? Why did my rent go up? That's if you have to pay rent. For those who aren't paying rent, they're like, what do I care? Oh, shit, I just got an eviction notice when they removed that special privilege. They have screwed the entire system up, folks. We're going to be suffering and paying for this for a long time. Right? We were told that there was an economic slowdown because of 9/11 and the fact that people quit shopping for a couple of weeks. And I remember back then, George W. came out and said, that's it, everything's okay, folks. You can go out and start shopping again. Right? They wanted the retail world, they wanted people spending money, get it started, right? They shut down the world for a fucking year, not just for a week, not just for 2 weeks. Right? They flattened the curve on all commerce, folks. They flattened the curve on all trade, on all manufacturing. They flattened the curve, all right. No longer does it kind of go up, right? It went, phew, dive. The patient is on the operating table in surgery, critical care, right? Emergency room. I don't know what you want to call it. And the patient, the world is convulsing, right? They're, trying to defibrillate it, get some energy back into it, get it back to, no, it's not. They've screwed it up. And so how do they take advantage of this? How are they going to make this work? Well, I don't think they know, but that doesn't mean they won't try. It doesn't mean they're not going to try to make this work. We have so much, folks. We're going to have so many more hardships. It is just started. It's just started. Are you prepared, right? If we have no gasoline for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, how will you fare? If we have interruptions in food supply from region to region, how will you fare? If there's a problem with the water system, which we've seen water systems interrupted, actually hacked and sabotaged. Do you have a water system? Do you have a way to get water and purify it, make it safe for drinking? That's what our Berkey water filters through the club are for, right? Food systems through the club or anywhere. I don't care where you get them, folks. Just get them. Just get what you need to be prepared, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about those items anymore. There's places all over the country where this is normal life, being prepared. Out in the West, where you can lose power for days or weeks in the winter because of ice storms. So how do you stay warm? How do you stay fed? How do you keep the ranch going? There's people all over the country. It's the major population centers where people think life can never change and it's always going to be so good. How are those hardships feeling so far, right? 2020 showed us what? That Antifa, BLM can run wild, right? No police protection. Who's going to protect you, right? Hardships, folks. And if we end up in a ground war with China in Taiwan, some kind of maybe naval conflict offshore, resulting in, of course, the loss of ships and lives, maybe on the ground in Taiwan, do you think that there's not going to be repercussions felt in the United States of America? Do you think China won't unleash a hellish series of cyber attacks? Of course, bounce through Russia or wherever they want so that they can hide their footprint. Hellish attacks on our infrastructure through the internet. I have never understood from day one why critical, essential businesses and components of our infrastructure, our energy infrastructure. How about power plants, transmission corridors, fuel pipelines, fuel, refineries? That's pretty important stuff, don't you think? You shut down power, you shut down food manufacturing, food processing, food storage. See where I'm going with that? If we have a ground war, a conflict with China, will. That is what war is. It is interrupting your enemy, not only on the battlefield, but through their entire supply line. Not to mention the fact, folks, that China seems to supply America with all of our goods. And if we're at war with China, why would China be shipping goods to us anymore when they can just shut off that pipeline and start starving us out? America doesn't know how to work. America doesn't remember how to work. We've got guys out there like Uman who can create machinery with their tools. They can create more tools to create more tools to create vast amounts of machinery and manufacturing equipment. There's lots of guys like that just manufacture. But we used to be huge, a powerhouse of manufacturing and tooling, tools and dies, just to be able to create anything. Do we have that anymore? Well, apparently Ford Motor Company and General Motors could stop making cars and start making medical ventilators. So I don't know why they couldn't start making all the things we need in this country. Get started on it. No, that costs money, folks. That's an investment in time. It's an investment in capital resources. And why do that when you can just buy it from China? Well, that question has been asked for the last, 30 years? And they continue to ask it and continue to say, well, we make more money and it's cheaper and easier getting it from China. So we stop doing it here. We go to war with China, folks. You want to talk about hardships. Hardships in supplies, conflict, cyber attacks, interference. How about electromagnetic pulse weaponry, potentially space-based weapons being used? Who knows where this is going to go? All I know is that governments are really good at screwing everything up and going, oh, we didn't expect that to happen. Or they expected it to happen and didn't give a shit. Kind of like abandoning Afghanistan and not realizing or giving a shit about everyone who's going to be abandoned to their own devices. You want to talk about hardships? The people of Afghanistan are experiencing it right now. Where do they get their food? Where do they get their power? Where do they get their fuel? What government do they have and what is it doing to them? They are in SHTF right now, folks. Everyone's running around wondering who is doing what. And it's not going to get better over there, and it's going to come here. Chickens come home to roost. Maybe that should have been the title of the video. In any event, folks, tune in. I've got so much on the plate already, and the day has just begun. The day has just begun. It's a 24-hour news cycle. It's a 24-hour world, and it's going to be 24/7, 365 SHTF from here on out. It's not going to get better. We're not going to wake up. So get prepared, please. You don't have to panic. You don't have to live your whole day in it. That's my job. You don't have to do that. You just have to be prepared. Have some planning in place so that as we experience more of these items coming to pass, things that you and I have talked about, trends, forecasting, political trends, military trends, legal trends, economic trends. We've forecasted it, we've predicted it, we've been watching it, and now it's here, right? It's a process. We're not at the beginning anymore where we're just talking about, protecting our assets and being ready for an emergency. Now it's just full blown. This is it, right? The only thing we don't have is the sound of gunfire in the streets. We have police quitting, cities failing, medical tyranny. We've got it all. Just no guns in the streets yet. I wonder when that's coming. I sure hope and pray it doesn't, but it's hard to say, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Don't live in fear, folks. Don't live in fear. Live with a clear understanding. I'll talk to you soon.